We have a little bit of breaking news. A federal judge in California has just issued a temporary restraining order against the reduction in force attempts the administration might make, the RIFs, the layoffs. She says you can't do this, or I'm not sure if it's a she. The judge says you can't do this in a nation of laws. We had word just last hour, Ashley, that OMB Director Russ Vought wanted to lay off as many as 10,000 federal workers.
That's right. He has been very clear, not just since the beginning of this shutdown, but really since the beginning of Donald Trump's second term, that he wants to terrorize the federal bureaucracy, that he wants to reduce it, whether it's through initially DOJ or RIFs, or not appropriating the money that Congress has set aside for various agencies. This is his entire mission, and he saw this government shutdown as yet another opportunity. And that's what you have started to see the president and Russ Vought try to do. One thing that's interesting is because this is not something that is new or sudden, this is something that Russ Vought has been talking about since before Donald Trump even returned to power. You are seeing Democrats in this instance, for now at least, while the polls remain slightly in their favor, willing to stomach this, because you're hearing some of them say, if they don't try to, say, lay off federal workers or the federal bureaucracy during the government shutdown, they'll find another way to try to do it. So in some ways, it's emboldened Democrats to feel like they have nothing to lose because they believe that this has long been the master plan, shutdown or no shutdown.
Is this sort of a welcome bit of news, not just for Democrats, but for Republicans, Annie? Were they looking forward to Russ Vought laying off 10,000 people in the middle of a shutdown?
No, I mean, I don't think Republicans in Congress particularly want that. That would be, I mean, a lot of those people would be some of their constituents, but mostly what I've heard from Republicans in Congress is concern over the troops getting paid. That is their primary focus. And they really are encouraged that Trump said he wants to pay the troops and have brought up the possibility of passing legislation to do that. Even before he said he would do it without them having to do anything. But I haven't heard much talk about the plight of federal workers from Republicans in Congress. Mostly it's just blaming Democrats for the shutdown and concern over the troops. The rest, it doesn't really come up in conversations with Republicans.
How do Democrats push back against that, Val?
I think, let me just say this. I believe that Democrats are spot on in their fight to protect the American people and their health care, to keep their premiums from doubling, tripling. That is the right thing. But you're right, it is painful for Democrats because Democrats are totally focused on taking care of the American people. Republicans in Congress are totally focused on satisfying Donald Trump. Look, Donald Trump and DOJ and the chainsaw already laid off or fired, if you will, or forced to leave, people that were forced to leave, over 200,000 people. So the layoffs that he's threatening are nothing new. Donald Trump gets everything that he wants. And so what we are seeing, what we are experiencing, the Republicans, again, they have the White House, the Senate, and the House. Donald Trump gets everything that he wants. This shutdown is occurring. People are being threatened because that's exactly what Donald Trump wants, and the Republicans are willing to let him have.